Welcome to our grand final matchup. I wish I could say I was surprised with who we have here in the end, but we have that Amulet squad taking on the Leftovers, and it wouldn't be an OCE event unless our grand final goes to Oni Village at some stage, so that's where we're going to start this one off.
I don't know if I could say I was disappointed. I mean, this is our best option to see a really close and really high-level grand final. These two teams go head-to-head, and we saw it before. I mean, it came down to just the last possible moment to decide this in the last time they played. This is the rematch, and that round, I believe it was round 3, they absolutely went off.
It was a reverse sweep. That's how the Amulet side go over the top. So
that close.
I guess if you go by that logic, perhaps they will be the favorites to win this one out, but we'll see how it plays out as we go to one of the longest, most difficult maps to score on in Oni Village. It's so open. The barriers are so easy to protect. The angles out of those corners are always so awkward. And with two Dubus on defense, this could be a long one.
Yeah, absolutely. ZINNIAAA, though, I mean, they did win 3 back-to-back in their last series here. Even if it had to be a reverse sweep, they've proven they have the holding power to do it. Can they bring it out now? ZINNIAAA puts it into the final barrier. It's looking good already for this ZINNIAAA Amulet side.
Yeah, as you can see, the pressure being mounted, and ZINNIAAA will go ahead and kind of pop that first shot in on the attack Kai. Not something you typically see, but the reason why that was on such a quick cooldown, Gex, is that rapid fire awakening. Rapid fire taken by the entirety of the Leftovers as well as ZINNIAAA. Meanwhile, Aralia and Kruha, they've gone for a peak performance for their opening.
Bit of banter in the emotes there on field as well, but it was kind of a matter-of-fact goal. It just came out of good play. It was kind of inevitable after they had that much pressure with an open net there, and this time around could be the same. Kruha still defending that one barrier on their own side. Looking for ZINNIAAA to clear out, and it will eventually, but this is tough stuff. And pulled out of defense. Kruha is removed. That's gonna be a 3v2.
Yeah, I mean, just like Kruha got pulled out and removed from the defensive goalkeeping position, they'll also kind of remove the likes of Torrchi from the game with that tofu wall. 3v2 power play. ZINNIAAA stepping forward. They'll get the KO. Won't be able to get the goal, but without the goalkeeper, I feel like this could be a matter of time right now. Aralia in position for a strike, goes up, but the court flip from rixy throws it the other way.
I feel like the last person you want to get KO'd off is the goalkeeper, but they do manage to wait the time out. The respawn comes on. rixy now sends it upfield. Didn't have the option for a passing play here. Torrchi trying to get involved, but this is back and forth chaos in the midfield right now. Finally, the shot goes low off of, I think it was Aralia there, took the shot well, and it does go home.
Yeah, again, it's Oni Village, Gex. Every single one of these points are going to go long, even if barriers fall early. The expectation is just going to be overtime. Each and every one of these goals. And it's never the first barrier that's important. It's always the second. These corners so easy to defend. We'll see what Kruha and ZINNIAAA are able to do. The Death Touch actually keeps it away from now. ZINNIAAA doesn't have an avenue to pass up to Aralia, so goes straight through the middle instead. Now, we'll see one barrier down aside as rixy is able to respond.
Early KO there, particularly with the damage you're expecting out from first set. The damage is coming out very strongly from this ZINNIAAA Amulet side. ZINNIAAA now controlling well, but it's even field right now. rixy doing well in the top corner. As deenos doesn't even have to be worried. Close to barrier. rixy forward now, trying to find that final barrier. It has been tough to get the gates open so far.
I mean, it always is. And I still find it really interesting, too, that, like, despite having a mirror match in terms of compositions, we've actually gone for, like, a completely different awakening opening. And what I like is it kind of plays to sort of the expectations of these teams and these styles. I mean, the Torrchi, rixy side, they're always so aggressive early. It makes sense that they would be going that rapid fire, and I like Aralia taking the tempo to respond. Goal, though, will go through for our blue side, so we're not seeing the sweep for the first set. We keep rolling on 2-1.
Peak performance across there on Aralia and Kruha, but yeah, like you said, rapid fire, so cooldown reduction across the field. They are trying to get control of this puck and get the core into possession with power as well to spare.
As we see, more pressure being put now. It's going to be an interesting cross-up of a map, the furthest distance between these last two barriers, as the core flip from ZINNIAAA immediately gets denied by a rollout from deenos, who will hold onto their core flip.
Whoa.
Stuck in the tofu pyramid, the puck does go an awkward way. The core getting pushed closer and closer towards Kruha right now, yet if there's anyone you'd be expecting to hold that line, Kruha could be one of the ones I'm looking at right now, as rixy can't quite force it through.
With the last series, you could almost expect it to be ZINNIAAA. It's a 3v1 displayed after both teammates KO'd out, including Kruha there. ZINNIAAA was able to hold against everybody else on field. An incredible display, but he's going to have to be used in offense this time. Does drop it.
Lost the game of chicken. Not much more to be said right there. ZINNIAAA had a chance for a touch, tried to hold it, gets punished on this instance still. Possession looking decent. Torrchi is quite low, but still tries to stay playing forward. ZINNIAAA into Aralia, though. The nice 1-2 punch will get the KO. And now with the numbers advantage, rixy has to try to hold that midfield line, is unable to do so. This will allow both Aralia and ZINNIAAA to start to press forward, yet the tofu wall shuts down all of that push, and that is why Duvu is just so good on this map.
Loved that KO on Torrchi, actually. Aralia was just watching their opponents pass around them, and Aralia decided, you know what, if that's what's going to happen, we'll just remove somebody. He does it again. Aralia is going to get another one there. Torrchi on field this time. It's going to be a teammate out. deenos still able to defend here, but it's been a long time, and finally the barrier falls.
Yeah, and now there's a chance to take this first set, and it will be off the core flip. Aralia puts it in, crosses up deenos, and first set goes to the Amulet.
Unbelievable that Amulet were able to hold for that long. ZINNIAAA really showing defensive ability on an open net for the majority of that final point. But like you said, first set going across to them of this match of 3.
Egoist is going to be that primary pick as well, gaining dramatic speed at max energy. So that obviously is something that everyone loves. Speed so important to this game. It does mean Timeless Creator drops all the way down to deenos, though, who we've already seen pretty much implement those tofu walls just to shut down like half the pitch every time there was that power play against them. Will be interesting to see, how much more difficult it is going to be to score on this blue side. Of course, Kruha also fell into Twin Drive, and I'm a little bit iffy on that because last time we saw Kruha with Twin Drive, we saw a lot of rolling and rocking and sometimes some overextends.
Well, we'll have to see if it proves to be the same this time around. The rematch has been looking pretty different so far. I mean, last time it was a massive early start and domination from leftovers until about halfway through that matchup.
Well, this time's already looking pretty good for them. Again, that tofu wall shuts down half of the pitch, but this time we'll go to the top side instead. deenos does get it to Torrchi, but can't get it to rixy, who's getting bullied by Aralia, who now looks to step forward as well. The pendulum not timed well enough for the goal. Still, though, with the help of the rollout from Kruha, the pressure does remain. ZINNIAAA can't get it past their own rollout on the other side. Kruha instead has to go up high, but it's intercepted. And now Torrchi with the chance. If he can get to that core with the core flip, we could see the goal.
Kruha still using that forward defensive positioning, and it has, nearly cost them here. It has been the reason that the barriers have fallen early, but they have had a lot of pressure, and they do continue to every time they get upfield. There it is. ZINNIAAA does get it to fall. Kruha on the back line is going to use the core flip. Torrchi cancels it out.
Oh, but the other two core flips missed. Both Aralia and ZINNIAAA were sitting on it, but now it is gone, and that will lead to a goal the other way. Leftovers strike first in set 2.
Yeah, Torrchi, a really powerful shot through off the core flip, will make the goal count. And here we go again into the second point of set 2.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. ZINNIAAA looking to get forward. Again, deenos has that core flip available for them, but realistically it's Torrchi who I want to watch, when that core flip comes available and when and how they use it, because movement speed, especially on such a big open map, is so important. And whether or not, sorry, Aralia. There's two Rasmuses. I'm sorry, I got the confused. Aralia is the one who I want to see how they utilize that movement speed once it gets to that peak volume. You can already see them, slowly increasing it more and more. And I feel like it's tough because you're kind of losing that core flip, but the speed can be so useful if you just sit and hold it.
Speaking of tough, that is brutal.
There it is.
Leftovers.
Look at the speed. Look at Aralia go.
Just
it's
zipping
ridiculous.
around the field.
It's actually ridiculous. They ran past Torrchi to get a touch on the core before.
Aralia just found the button that gets the mount out.
True. That must be what it is. But then they used it on, well, actually setting up that death touch, which does get them the barrier. So I would say it's worth it. And another reason, too, why going for Egoist is so good on this map in particular, there could be multiple core flips. You can get enough energy to kind of get to that peak point multiple times in a round because of how long and how few goals are.
Absolutely worth that usage there. That second barrier has been so tough that getting down that second barrier has been the main obstacle for ZINNIAAA Amulet so far. And if they're going to win this, they have to do it early. There it is, the benefit coming out in the shot, being conquering here. A point goes across to ZINNIAAA Amulet.
Yeah, Aralia going to be happy with that one for sure as the Amulet side. Get those eyes open, those blue eyes open. I have no idea what that Twitch emote is like, the lore behind it at all. Do you know what, Gex?
Yeah, no idea. Sorry. I think they just picked something and went with it, to be honest.
No, there's going to be a reason. There's always a reason. Players don't just name things because they feel like it at the time.
No, that's never happened.
Never once, okay? I'm looking at the team names that even in this event, it doesn't happen. I am sure, you know, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare has a deep and meaningful story and lore behind that name as we see a second goal go in.
Everything has meaning. Plants vs. Zombies is going to be a real story of tragedy, personal tragedy.
Warfare 2, okay? It's the full name or no name.
Sorry, yeah, that is true. That deserves the full name.
Gotta show that respect where it is. And we do thank, you know, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 for playing in this event. But no, situation actually looking a little bit dire right now for the Leftovers because they need to kind of not go down 2 sets, I feel like. I mean, granted, we did see the reverse sweep go the Amulet's way before, but I doubt that could happen again, although you never know, Gex. You never know.
And they have a best of 3 of sets as well to get through here, so it's not completely over if this one does go down. ZINNIAAA now trying to push and make sure it does go that way, though. Kruha is going to let through the core, the barrier falls, and the gates open. One left on the other side, and deenos just holds.
Yeah, I mean, no core flips available either, so it's going to have to be a longer hold. As we see, the body slam barely makes contact. Rixy's cross-up denied, but Torrchi still goes underneath, and we're tied 2-all.
I don't know if the body slam was necessary there. Kruha seemed to have positioning covered fairly well. I suppose the stress was just on there to hold, and Kruha makes a little bit of an error, and it does make its way through on the lack of cooldown.
As a quick KO might help this team in red. ZINNIAAA helps get the first core. Aralia trying to disrupt Torrchi before going to the second. It should be worth noting, Aralia already 2 levels up on the Rasmus counterpart. Now looking to sit in front of the net right here for this goal. This could be the end of the set. Aralia can't get it through the rollout.
A lot of passing going on between Kruha and Aralia right now. ZINNIAAA waiting in the wings for the shot opportunity, but the full team play has not been there. One barrier will go down now for ZINNIAAA. The Amulet holds its strength as it does come through with the core flip. ZINNIAAA redirects the save there from deenos.
Yeah, that was a big-time save. It was a good setup, but Kruha still has their core flip available as well. That's it, Torrchi on the precipice of getting their one alongside ZINNIAAA, who has found theirs, so we could see a lot of rapid core flips, or ZINNIAAA will just force it through. Second set goes over to the Amulet side, and they are 1 away from taking the Game 1 win.
Don't mention core flips to ZINNIAAA when he's in front of net. You're going to cause it to happen. The set is won by Max Formal here as ZINNIAAA Amulet comes through.
Deadeye, Kai, aerials, also good on Kai. Extra special, good on everyone. Missile propulsion, also good on Kai. But yeah, extra special, too good for everyone. And having that quick special ability right out of the gate, I think it's going to be super useful in this one. Expect to see some quick barriers falling. But the Orb of Ponderer going to deenos, I think, is actually quite huge.
Yeah, there's no other orb bonuses here to go out to that second Dubu. Kruha might be at a little bit of a disadvantage to deenos here in that regard.
We'll see. I mean, look, Kruha's build is still pretty good. You already have that twin drive, and now getting that fire up as well means that they are going to be able to build that energy that much quicker. And we've seen how reliant on the core flick both of these teams kind of have to be in order to get some of these goals. So, and plus it suits Kruha's style as well. Like, whenever Kruha has a core flick available, they'll step forward and look for the goal themselves. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that happening as the series progresses. Yeah,
that was going to be my point. Just that Kruha, the orb bonus, yes, probably still very powerful just being that he is playing a Dubu, but when it comes down to it, that gameplay style, Kruha spends so much time more forward than deenos does, and saying that, deenos has been kind of raising himself to that level this time around.
Yeah, deenos has been actually playing incredibly well. This actually is a little bit more forward than I remember deenos playing as a whole. deenos, you know, I feel like it's a bit unfortunate because the conversation's always around Kruha, especially in a mirror matchup, but deenos is right up there as one of the best goalkeepers in this region and has been proving it so far, you know, throughout every event that they've been in,
Torrchi.
as Kruha gets crossed up there, and that will be a goal to Torrchi.
Torrchi says, stop talking about my goalkeeper. I am the man. I am the one going through with a brilliant shot and taking the first point of what could be the last set of this round. It is set point here for Nazar Amulet.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be, but especially with the KOs, though, starting to lead the other way, maybe not as... Oh, my goodness! Into the
That's not rateable.
Yeah, we spam the emotes after that.
That's, in Rocket League, that's where you spam the, this is Rocket League one, right?
In Rocket League, that's where you disconnect and go next.
Exactly. Well, at least we can't set up barriers in that one. Here, we get extra walls to work with suddenly, and now you are looking at absolute chaos right in front of your own net.
Yeah, that was wild, but unfortunately for the leftovers, it really wasn't wild in their favor. They've got an exposed goal, but they also have the pressure in the middle of the pitch, and deenos has a core flip. Might have to use it here, although you use the wall first, use it to block off that bottom half of the map, and again, that we kind of flip to that red side right now. Torrchi doing a good job trying to keep ZINNIAAA back, but eventually they'll go evasive just to push it forward. Aralia up top gets stunned, but still the power shot from ZINNIAAA nearly sets up the goal.
That would have been absolute brilliance had that gone through. Torrchi now going to play out the slow game, does get possession, but no shot on that last barrier. There it goes, down, and oh goodness, nearly sneaks its way through the narrow opening that was forming.
I mean, it was right there in the middle, but the gate just opened too slowly. Now ZINNIAAA, though, is in an awkward spot. Torrchi just looking to stuff it past. Kruha doing what they can to set up that striker war. Has the body slam to keep it safe. Doesn't use the core flip, though, and that's going to be a goal to rixy.
Yeah, lock and load just overpowers Kruha in the end. There was a lot of defense coming out, but it was stuck on the goal line. You just cannot do that forever.
Rixy is to Omega Strikers what Orion was to Rocket League. What is your thoughts on that one, Gex?
I don't want to talk about Orion right now. That's a man. We are going back away for that, aren't we?
That is so far back. Still though, exposed goal and a chance for a 3-0 set right now for the leftovers. deenos has been sitting on a car flip. It feels like this entire set thus far, and Steel's going to be looking at it. Torrchi has a chance to step forward. Won't be able to get the dunk forward flip from deenos, though. Not used for the goal. But the tofu wall works against Kruha, and that gives the set to the leftovers.
Yeah. Look, I can see it. We're talking about players that are formative in this region, I suppose. And deenos definitely stepping up. Have to see what he picks up here as the next bonus.
Well, rixy's going to get that first pick, and I'm seeing built different. I'm seeing in specialized training. I think stacks on stacks, though, for that speed on a map this open is clearly the direction you want to go. That means we'll have the bigger Dubu on the Kruha side. Moving right along, though, actually hesitating to pick right now. Hotshot eventually will go to the Rasmus. You could have given that over to the Dubu, but instead, I guess they'll rather the Catalyst this time to try and work and build that energy. Fair enough. Interesting draft. I don't feel like there were any real losers on that one.
No, and I feel like that is the case that we've seen from a lot of these grand finals. Everybody trying to kind of play a little bit safe here, as they're not going to pick anything massively risky here, go for the over-aggression, leave themselves open.
Like, the only pick that's not really that ideal, I think, is ZINNIAAA with the Quick Strike. Quick Strike's great, and it does suit ZINNIAA's playstyle, because ZINNIAAA always likes to be in the other forward's face and really wants to get into those striker duels. But on a Kai, it feels a bit lackluster. Either way, like, ZINNIAAA is one who I would trust to put it to you.
Aralia. Great little strike into the top of that barrier. Just barely gets it. ZINNIAAA helping to defend the second barrier for their own side now as Kruha does work. deenos, though, putting on that display in defense in the other side. Aralia with a chance. ZINNIAAA trying to help. The back pass goes to Kruha. And it's going to be battered back and forth as it does come back to that second barrier on the ZINNIAAA Amulet side.
Yeah, we'll see if they'll be able to muscle it through. Jubu Wall again, keeping that bot half zoned away. ZINNIAAA still trying to fight its way past rixy as Aralia now looks to step forward. A couple shots, forces the core flip. Aralia won't be able to get the stuff. But with Kruha sitting with the core flip on the other side, it feels like a matter of time. In fact, we have 2 core flips available now for the team in red. Obviously, Aralia, it would be a last chance. You want to make that movement speed last for as long as they can. But if you can get the goal on Oni Village, you take it. And, well, now they even just need to flip the map one more time.
deenos forced to use his core flip early means he's gonna hope to generate that back again at some point here. Big kill there from Aralia, the KO coming out. ZINNIAAA ready for that pass, but it's not placed well by Kruha. They will lose possession for a moment. It goes back up their side. It's a lot of time wasted, and suddenly that 3v2 benefit goes out the window.
Yeah, I mean, you see them try to shoot the gap, but rixy was there for that save, and now this could be a pretty big comeback. Tofu Wall keeps the core on the top side, at least for now, as that's where deenos wants to allow it to stay. Torrchi tries to force it through with the pendulum, couldn't quite make contact, and ZINNIAAA slowly goes up the other way, and I guess there's that quick strike in action. That's touch up for grabs, goes to Torrchi, but they can't flip! Kruha, who makes the save with the core flip of their own.
Yeah, it had to be used. ZINNIAAA gonna get that 3rd core flip usage, and it is straight into the top side of that goal. A crucial one there. What a back and forth.
Just Oni Village things, Gex. I know everyone likes to meme on this pitch because the games go longer. It's so tough to score, but that builds the drama, that builds the tension. And I love long rallies like that, and I have a feeling from this point forward, a lot of them are probably going to be going that kind of distance. 2 barriers down early, but it doesn't mean much when that last one still stands.
As the things get more tense, everybody starts to get on that train of, you don't want to be the person who lets it through, and stuff becomes far more defensive. The game slows down. Right now, though, offensive side coming out of ZINNIAAA Amulet.
Yeah, and again, this could be a big one for them. They win this set, they win this first game, and they have a major advantage in the series as a whole. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, having one game is better than none. Still, Kruha will go up top to ZINNIAAA, who can't really muscle it past rixy just yet. It'll be the rollout instead from Kruha, but he just goes right back in their face. The forwards from the Amulet side, unable to create any spacing for themselves.
Yeah, really starting to be impactful here. The speed coming out, a double KO. Both sides losing a player each, and Maxwell was screaming in terror.
Omega Striker 2s, it's a thing. Don't worry about it. ZINNIAAA doesn't have too much to work with, but still nearly stuck it underneath deenos.
And the respawns, of course, come back at the exact same time, too. What a save.
Hit.
How is that not a hit on the barrier?
Well, that time it did, because Kruha swings and misses, and now all of a sudden, though, it might not matter, because with the stuff, ZINNIAAA puts it through, and that means it is 1 goal away for the Amulets to get this game.
Kruha says it was all a plan, the distraction up their end, the barrier goes down and the panic comes out of their opponents to suddenly be able to score. They let something through, and they go down by another point here, 1 away from losing this set.
1 away, but we've seen teams in this position before. The comeback is still very much real. That last goal always the toughest. Yeah, Kai's not allowed to play anymore, okay? No Kai.
No Kai's on field. That's not allowed here. It's a new game rule. We've already got 1 striker banned off field. Do we have to have another one by force?
Yes.
Yes, we do. Okay, all right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting for when, no more mirror matches and like how that will change the game. But
Yep.
I don't think a lot of the players are
Ooh.
super into that. Like that I don't know. It's an interesting discussion point. We can talk about it at a later time. For right now, I want to talk about how this goal is exposed. I want to talk about how Kruha has the core flip available, as does Aralia. This is looking mighty dire. Torrchi buys a bit of time, but it's only going to delay what could be the inevitable.
Oh, the inevitability of those mirror matches might be one topic, but right now we've got a mirror match on hand that is going right to the wire. It is absolutely dire straight.
That's
for leftovers. deenos gonna slow that one down, but slowing it is not enough. ZINNIAAA just puts on a show of force.
Oh, deenos was trying so hard to keep that one out and alive, but unfortunately for themselves, they kind of ran out of the abilities, and the forwards weren't able to create the space that's just required. Too evasive on the amulet side. That's going to do it for the first game. But again, this is a best of 3, Gex, so it's not as if the leftovers are done. However, I mean, what a performance realistically from that team in red. 100 saves on the board from Kruha. When you talk damage, Aralia 34k, the same as Torrchi, mind you, but the KO differential really came through. 11 KOs from Aralia compared to only 3 in their counterpart.
Yeah, that is absolutely nutty. Really, really insane stuff. I mean, and it's amazing to say that Nazar is coming up with such a big result. When you look across at leftovers, we were talking about how big deenos is. He's actually in the top of the leaderboards right now, #1 in Oceania. So that it's big to take him down.
Yeah, it is. It's a big time moment right now. Don't get me wrong, though. I feel like all 6 of these players on the pitch right now at some stage or time has probably been #1. Like, this is the best of the best our region has to offer.
I mean, ZINNIAAA and Aralia are both in the top 5 as well.
Yeah, and like, again, I'm gonna pull
now.
up the leaderboard now, because if you're looking and cheating, I'm gonna look and cheat as well. I've dropped rank. Anyways, yes. Like, Kurtu Kun, that's probably someone's alt account.
Yeah, you would assume so.
I mean, Vaughn up there, shout out, they were in the chat before. I mean, like, that's my alt account. I mean, what? No. Capybara, my other alt account. Temp name, my other alt. They're all just my alt accounts up at the top. I don't know.
We see both Zoralia and Aralia, 3rd and 6th, respectively.
I mean, when you look at the top 10, every single person, like, pretty much has played in this event.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. It should be. The community is not that large at the moment, but it's growing rapidly. And I feel like coming out here to these Money Night Mondays, you really see why it should be growing like this. Such an incredible game.
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, obviously. And hopefully we will be getting into our second game quite shortly, as soon as, like, everyone, readies up and gets into it, I suppose. I don't want to take a break. I want to keep this momentum
hammering
going.
on. Well, you don't want them to drop the warmth either. Yeah, get them hammering on as well. Get into that second of these. It was a sweep in set points. Let's see if it can be in the series. It is a best of 3, so we've got at least 1 more to go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just saw it. I had a little read on the Twitch chat. I'm a copium merchant. Okay, it's what I do. I sell the cope. You have to be a copium merchant.
I am allowed. I'm not. This isn't copium from me. If I'm here, it must be growing. That's my logic, right? I'm new.
No, but as I said, if you're from OCE, though, Gex, you have to be a copium merchant. Like, don't worry.
No, absolutely.
Power's going to get them next time at Worlds. Cope.
It's just because we didn't have ground zero. Yeah, we've got copium by the bucket load right now. But look, coming in here, I don't think it's.
They'll win an F1 championship again one year, I promise. Logan Sargent is going to make America popular in F1.
We need to gaslight ourselves into growing a community. That's a beautiful comment. Yes, that's the only kind of gaslighting I'll allow here.
No, I do agree. But night markets, let's go. Someone says this is their favorite map. I am in It's tied. It's this and Atlas's Lab. They're the 2 best maps. So let's go to the night market. This is going to be what could be our final game. if we see that Amulet side win their third match up against the Leftovers on the night, they will be our champions. Awakenings, if we're going to end it, this is how you do it. Prime time for all 6.
Big start from ZINNIAAA, really comboing abilities to get aggression going early, but they do not win the barrier first. Rixy now pushing forward and being crucial. Getting a bit of health back there was scary for her for a moment, but it's going to come back away. Aralia putting on the pressure in the top half, trying to get that second barrier, but it's not going to fall early.
Doesn't fall straight away, but still 2 barriers up for grabs. The first KO, though, will go in favor of the Leftovers. Does get returned in kind by Aralia, as we see the Supernova from ZINNIAAA used to buy time.
Oh!
I didn't even see when Kruha got KO'd, by the way. But if I'm not mistaken, did Kruha get KO'd on the opposite side of the pitch?
Yes, absolutely did. Yeah, it was top left corner, I believe.
Kruha things.
That's Kruha things. Your goalkeeper being, KO'd out of your opponent's goals is definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, it is. Well, this is turning into a more interesting point as well. Again, only the first one on this match, but you can see, again, ZINNIAAA and Aralia starting to get really squishy, really harassing deenos. That allows the barrier to fall. Kruha, uncontested touches, should be able to find the space, but it's a swing and a miss that allows Torrchi to dribble it for a little bit, drops the barrier, but won't be able to follow it up with a shot.
Brilliant stuff from Aralia there, just putting on that harassing effect. And it comes out strong. Oh my goodness. ZINNIAAA, I don't know if there's a little bit of luck involved in that or it just was calculated, but it came back into that shot perfectly.
Yeah, that was a fantastic goal right there. ZINNIAAA just able to snipe that one up and through. So with a 1-0 lead, already off to a good start. The Amulet looking pretty strong. Aralia tries to cross up deenos, though. Won't be able to find it this time. However, Torrchi needs to be careful because they've already been staggered, yet with one good touch, the goal opens up.
That is a mental touch. Gets both barriers, which is not easy to do in one pass on this map.
No, it is. If you get it right in the middle, it does go down. As core flip leads to Kruha's demise. That's going to be a tie game now, 1 apiece.
Had to be, though. Too much mounting pressure early there. That was big from the Leftovers.
Yeah, that was a big-time moment. 1-1. I mean, I like the fast response, and I like Rixy just taking control of the kickoff. However, not really able to follow it up with too much. In fact, deenos allows the first barrier to fall through as they get forward to drop that tofu wall, but then has to go evasive because of the Supernova. On the other side, Aralia able to get a quick KO, but still Rixy almost does it themselves.
Yeah, this is what they've needed, though, that upfield aggression is getting in their opponents' faces. They haven't seemed to have the confidence to do it quite as effectively as their opponents throughout this series so far, but that was a brilliant demonstration of what they can do when they have it, and they will do it again. Good push forward. deenos is up for the shot.
Aralia has to save, but then he gets stuck in their own teammate's tofu wall, and eventually that leads them to kind of allow the goal to go through. A bit unfortunate of a tofu barrier there from Kruha, but hey, a goal is a goal, and you're going to take them any way you can. A bit of a celebration, and now a set point for the Leftovers.
Torrchi going to be standing there with the core coming away. Heading towards that bottom barrier. It will go down as Aralia gets stunned. It's deenos down to Torrchi. Kruha holds the line. This is looking so much better for Leftovers.
That it is. deenos down to Rixy. Wanted to get to Torrchi, but wasn't able to get it past that midfield line, at least not straight away. The tower, though, will create a bit of pressure as Aralia finds himself in a bit of strife, having been staggered and with no easy way to get to the core. ZINNIAAA had to fight through too many. Eventually, we kind of flipped the map up, but deenos is there ready for it. Core flip not even needed as they survive both of the quick shots, and the Rixy will eventually get the clear.
Aralia regenerating a little bit of health eventually there. Does get out of that dire straight situation, but was kind of out of use there for a bit as well. Tried to create a little bit of chaos where they could, and we'll get a little damage out here on Rixy again as well, but covering that top side. Aralia down to ZINNIAAA. Has to get it to that barrier, though, and it's proving tough for them as they lose one of their own.
And that's going to open up the goal the other way. ZINNIAAA nearly gets it with a quick supernova instead. Well, the map gets temporarily flipped, hit too hard. It comes back the other way. Now Aralia, able to get it past deenos straight away. A second attempt runs straight into Rixy. Kruha on that back line. Just throws it forward to Aralia, who gets stuck up in the tofu wall. Now ZINNIAAA tries to go for the power chord snipe. Doesn't get it, but Kruha got the KO on the opposite end.
Aralia cuts back for the pass up. ZINNIAAA and Kruha.
Oh no!
In the forward half and actually end up taking out their own barrier.
But it's all
anyway. They did
We'll
not deserve that one. That was brutal. Oh my goodness.
I mean,
No.
look,
The Twitch emotes are coming out.
calculated. That's all I would say to that is calculated.
Again, it was the distraction tactic from Kruha earlier, right? Sacrifice to open up the other end.
They're just the best at those distraction tactics. Either way, it's now that tied 2-2 game. This is set point, and it would be really nice, I feel like, for the leftovers if they want to fight back into the series as a whole to take that first set. Torrchi unable to muscle it past. In fact, Aralia got it in the perfect spot. Core flip going in, and it's all the Aralia show to make it a 1-0 set lead.
And the shot. Oh my goodness. Does it all themselves. What a take for that. 3-2 will win that one out. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe what I just saw.
Stacks on stacks or hot shot. Where does Kruha go?
Stacks on stacks.
Twin
sure.
drive,
Oh,
apparently. Okay. I guess they heard me saying, you know, twin drive is a little bit shaky sometimes on them, so they'll go ahead and lock that in. Fair enough. I thought they would have gone stacks on stacks for that movement speed. Castellas will go to the other Dubu, though, as stacks on stacks drops all the way to 6. A hot shot on TF4. And there's a lot of good ones here.
There is some unexpected stuff there, though, I think. Stacks on stacks is always a bit of a favorite of mine there, and Torrchi should be able to use that pretty well.
Yeah, mirror image, I agree. Stacks last pick, what just happened, man?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess you know, smaller map because of the barriers in the middle. You don't need movement speed, right?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
I have to try, man. I have to try to rationalize.
I feel like you need more of it. You've got to move around these barriers now.
Well, apparently, you know, I am being told that there is a nerf, but my response to that is I haven't had dinner and I want pancakes and I still want speed. But apparently, there is a nerf, so that could be why.
On target for that save, but. Oh my goodness. Torrchi! Good pressure.
Yeah, just Torrchi able to get it in.
Does that give you enough time to recover?
But it's still still the best one. Like, it's still good, nerf or not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I like stacks. I like stacks. Give me my stacks on stacks. But we'll see how it kind of plays out. Regardless, either way, action at hand. Goal 1 went to the leftover. Supernova went against their own team, but unfortunately it missed the core. Either way, ZINNIAAA should get a free shot at the first barrier. No avenue to pass it up to Aralia, despite it being a 2v3.
Gets KO and remains in play long enough with the small amount of health they have there to actually get that barrier down with the distraction, the nuisance tactics against deenos.
As we see ZINNIAAA just trying to find any sort of avenue through Aralia, going ahead, getting that, you know, bit of poke on to deenos. Kruha doing what they can, but we'll hold on to the core flip for now. As we continue to sit one barrier aside, ZINNIAAA unable to get it past rixy on the first attempt. Got there on the second. Aralia wanted to pass, not going to find it. Torrchi's core flip will be denied by the tofu wall, which gets 2 touches on it. Now Aralia goes for the stuffing and does find the barrier.
Where is the damage focus for Nazar Amulet right now? I've barely seen any damage coming out on rixy. Torrchi finally taking some now. They've been directing it to the backline against deenos and has barely been making it there. Finally does now, and deenos making some amazing saves on the line. But does it hold? Yes, back down the other side. But it now is a 3v1. This is brutal. Oh! Aralia just gets the defense on that to keep it behind deenos' own wall. That is brutal.
Yeah, I mean, look, a 3v1 never is a good thing, especially when you kind of hinder yourself right there. I mean, you're asking where the damage. You're asking where the damage is as we finally see the KO. The reason why we're not seeing low stagger bars is because every single time someone on the leftovers gets even to like half stagger, they're gone. Like, that is how efficient it feels like the amulet side has been. And you'll see that reflected when we get to the end game, when we see sort of those KO stats, because it feels like we are constantly seeing a red side power play.
Hexing might be the correct term here against leftovers, but it's a valid point. They did correct that damage out there, and suddenly the amulets come back in, push that KO, and they get that 3v1 opportunity. I wonder if they're going to try for it again. Definitely not prioritizing that tactic right this second as both barriers fall on both sides.
Yeah, ZINNIAAA with some space to work with does connect on the power cord to push it through. Aralia, though, taking quite low, has to be careful. I can see Torrchi just turning on them on a dime yet, and still they look to go in, somehow stay standing. They do eventually fall, lose the core flip with them
ZINNIAAA.
as well. And yeah, ZINNIAAA was just, I'm sorry, not ZINNIAAA. Aralia was just trying to be a bit too greedy on that play.
They've got a chance here. They've got to take it while it's 3v2 right now, though. And Aralia gets back into the play. It's now 3v2 the other way. And oh my goodness. Amulet's looking good as it comes out of the midfield. It's Aralia with control. Kruha now the pass up to ZINNIAAA this time around as rixy gets back in the play. It's too little too late and Aralia strikes.
I love it. Forcing it in the corner just for the cross-up does enough to draw deenos to that top side of the map, and it'll be an easy touchdown off post and in. Very intelligent play from Aralia, who is honestly shaping up to be the MVP of the tournament so far today.
Is indeed. I would absolutely agree with that. Aralia has been doing some amazing stuff on the front of just being that nuisance, though. I mean, the amount of stuns that have allowed for these goals to come through, or even just the damage to come out, so many barriers would not have fallen without that factor. This team is doing exceptionally well. There has been fights back at every moment from leftovers. They just haven't been able to get on top yet.
Supernova gets the first barrier now as ZINNIAAA's power cord does eventually get it past rixy, but not really enough to stay too far on it. Good save by deenos. Keeps it out for now, but a core flip on front of the line. What a game of chicken played by Aralia there. Does take down the second barrier, and now all of a sudden it's set point. Core flip, cross up, doesn't connect back to Aralia as the Dubu wall saves the goal for now.
Rixy getting absolutely annihilated here. So much damage coming out. Did go evasive on the first set of damage out there to try and take that KO, but gets it the second time. Aralia now pushing through deenos with good pressure back, but it's a great shot. The pass up through the center and ZINNIAAA striking massive power.
And this is not just set point. This is not just game point or a match point, Gex. This is a tournament point right now. 3 goals away from taking out another Money Night Madness. Kruha could be the only one with 2. And for ZINNIAAA and Aralia, they've been second place in so many of these events. They can finally take one for themselves. And why not start off with a Supernova on cooldown at the start of every play?
Extra special is going to be brutal, especially when we've been seeing the effect there. The power cords coming out have been huge in just the push forward to get the barriers down as well. Might not be the striking finish a lot of the time, but is doing wonders on field.
Yep. I mean, ZINNIAAA has been well with the power cords. That's been more the result of the prime time, though, than what would be the extra special, which again, everyone has that prime time. Just a friendly reminder, which is why this game has been, I think, as chaotic as it has been. As we're going to see Torrchi try to muscle it past Kruha, but not quite get there just yet. As ZINNIAAA tries to throw it up towards Aralia, and somehow it sneaks through, and that's 2 barriers gone, courtesy of the Rockstar.
This is not looking good for the leftovers, and it might be what's left out right now that is needed. Leftovers will be left over as the goal comes through. They are 2 away, but it is Nazar Amulet pushing for more.
Also, I do need to point out something as well, because I got distracted by the extra special. It should be worth noted. I always comment how Kruha likes to be a little bit unorthodox. Again, I always go back to the Octavia goalkeep. How about Deadeye Dubu, all right? Like a gunslinger from the west, but instead of shooting bullets, we're going to be shooting logs across the pitch and hoping for something crazy there.
Or pieces of
I
tofu.
now know how I want this tournament to end, Gex.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a shootout. It's going to be old West style.
Yeah, except, you know, the log. That's going to be the difference. We'll see what Kruha's going to be able to bring.
Who's got the quickest draw?
How did that miss the barrier? I think Kruha, for tonight's event in particular, just maxed out on the luck stat.
Yeah, very possible. Kruha again, not quite the luck, but skill coming out there. Aralia is going to guide it to that final barrier and take the shot. ZINNIAAA helping out a lot there to keep it in that top half, but Aralia is just enabled there to put it away. They are 1 point away from taking the tournament.
This could be the last goal, essentially, if it does go to our team
the damage
in
on
red.
Torrchi.
This Amulet squad, the blue eye, Can they find it? ZINNIAAA power chord misses, and deenos is almost able to flip it back on the other side. rixy tries to run disruption, but up top, Aralia with yet another KO. And I feel like at any given moment, blink and you'll miss it. Aralia is just taking someone out of this game.
Rixy, though, gets both barriers down there, and Torrchi coming back in, evening this up. A 3v3 is necessary to make this count, but there's a shot. Kruha just there in time.
And that means the second barrier will fall. One more good touch to do it. Well, it was a good touch, and it was a goal courtesy of Kruha, but it was a tofu wall goal into his own net.
That is brutal to watch. The tears coming out from Rixy as well. Everyone's sad that that's how it came out. Torrchi again being targeted at the beginning, but the damage being restrained this time for a defense that is absolutely dire. You've got to say, this is a huge push back right now.
Well, it has to be. Like,
it must be, yeah.
There's no other option right now. That will be a power chord leading to the burst barrier falling. Aralia actually taking quite low on that stagger. Expect Rixy to turn on them and look for the KO, but instead they have to play to the core. And this actually could leave the blue side a bit exposed. You can see Torrchi is going to be the one who's jumped upon. Will stay standing for now. deenos starts to play it forward, but Aralia may have found a gap on the bot side.
Aralia
gets the second barrier, keeps the pressure on. ZINNIAAA races to that lower end. Dubu wall keeps the core stuck where it is for now. Supernova gets denied, but deenos is one hit away from getting KO'd.
Aralia is trying to do it as well. Elusive. deenos remains.
Stay standing.
deenos is still there, but it is absolutely denied. deenos wasn't allowed into the goals, and Aralia with these tactics time and time again. Oh, you've got to hate it if you're a fan of leftovers, but that is a big result for Nazar Amulet.
Aralia MVP for the tournament. I'm just saying it right now. That was some of the best forward play I think we have seen, because I feel like in every other event we've given MVP to whoever was goalkeep on the winning side. It's why Kruha always seems to win it, but not today. Today it is going to be Aralia, and it is going to be, you know, the Amulet squad. I mean, look, they played phenomenally from start to finish. Nazar Amulet undefeated on the day. They had to reverse sweep in round 3 to stay undefeated, but they pulled it off quite nicely, and like ever since then, nigh unstoppable. Look at the KO count, by the way. Aralia 10 in that final match.
Yeah, that was just insane to watch. I mean, it was the reverse sweep earlier, but that was just the start of their undefeatable run. It was 3-0 in a row to be able to do that. Obviously, that's how it works. But then they just didn't stop. They haven't lost since.
Yeah, it's also, you know, I mean, and again, it wasn't the perfect day, okay? They did drop sets. All right. But, so, you know, places to be built upon. But, I mean, a fantastic showing yet again for this team, and I'm happy they are there. Look, I'm going to say right now, because I'm too lazy to type. Yes, I want to do interviews. Yes, I want to get these winners in here, so hopefully we can have a chance to speak to them, because I mean, look, I gotta be honest. I want to talk about Deadeye on Dubu, all right? Like, that's the primary thing on my mind. You can talk tournaments, you can talk reverse sweeps. I want to know about Deadeye on Dubu and what that's all about.
You want to know why you were denied your Western-style shootout. That's what you want to know.
No. I want to know why you take Deadeye on Dubu. Just
For that
straight
exact
up.
reason, you've got to. It's yeah, no, I have no idea. It's a bizarre one to me as well.
Yeah, so hopefully we will get to them in here, and we can hear from that. Also, should be worth noted, that is 3 events in a row that Kruha has won.
Yeah, really looking dominant. I mean, you were talking about the fact that the MVP frequently goes to the goalie. Why not? Kruha is clearly a winning factor here.
I feel like, though, out of all the performances we've seen, this was the sketchiest we've seen Kruha look. There was a lot of misplays today. Like, it wasn't the cleanest night for Kruha. But Aralia and ZINNIAAA looked amazing. Like, on that alternate.
Credit for deenos to rising to match Kruha and being able to come forward, make some offense out of a defender. And deenos actually ended up with 24 shots to Kruha's 18.
I'm just watching that goal again on the replay where it gets stuck in the wall and thrown back. It was a rough day for Dubu, I think, as a whole. There was a lot of, like, you know, body slam whiffs. There was a lot of, you know, walls working against them. There was weird sort of awakening selections. I don't know. But Dubu still obviously is the most popular goalkeeper. Everyone, that's the other thing I was surprised with. A lot of Dubu and not a lot of Kai on goalkeeper. Like it used to be about 50-50, but it seems like Dubu is kind of back higher on that tier list.
Yeah, I mean, Dubu has just been kind of a mainstay for a long time, but I actually am a big fan when we get to see the variation come out. I do like to see other defenders used, and it seems like today, at least, we're on for a Dubu show.
All right, so again, we are trying to get the interviews together. Hopefully, they'll be coming on. Look, I know what questions I want to ask, but Twitch chat, if you have any questions you want us to ask as well, like feel free to like shoot them in now, and I'll tell you how stupid those questions are and ignore them. But you can have a shot. I mean, I am curious what you have for us. That said, it does look like we have players jumping in at this time. I'm assuming they can hear me. I'm assuming things are set up, but I don't see any names. So I'm just going to ask, who do we have in here now?
Hello, we've got Kruha, the third forward.
Kruha? The third forward, I like
Let's just go straight into it, Kruha, all right?
We meet again.
I need to know, first of all, congratulations. 3 tournaments in a row. The 3-peat.
Yes,
no one else has done it. That is only you, alone on top of that mountain. But why Deadeye on Dubu?
Didn't want to give that to Amy. I was happy with him getting timeless, because I can just counter his ult with my ult. But yeah, Amy damage with everything else is pretty brutal, so I'll just get the log.
So you're willing to sacrifice. So it's kind of like, I'm going to take a step back to take you back with me.
Yeah, drag him down. You got to contain the beast. Rixy's a beast, dude, so you can't give him anything.
Yeah.
Hello.
I think that does also go into the fact that we do have that meta at the moment, that this damage, the KOs are just really what you're going for. And Amy, I was actually expecting more from Amy there, and it was shut down largely by that. In saying that, we had Aralia. Do we have Aralia in here now?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yes we can. Aralia, you were pushing so hard. On the damage front, you can't really go past what you were putting out there.
Yeah, I'm sort of known for just being a psycho and ability bumping people, but...
That makes all 3 of us. Let's go.
Yeah, I can confirm.
Yeah, okay, so I actually need to kind of like... Now, like, this is a question, I guess, for both you, Aralia, and for you, ZINNIAAA, the two of you, because you've been second place, it feels like, in every single event, to Kruha, who always seems to beat you in the final, but now you get Kruha on your team, you win one out. Does it feel like you've properly, you know, won this event now, monkey off the back, we're the champs, or do you have to do it again once you get, you know, Triple Z back together?
I'm going to be honest, not at all. I think next Money Mondays, you know, if we end up entering, I think this Kruha guy's finished. I'm going to be real.
No.
No shot.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, as soon as we get Zenny back, it's just over.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, hold on. Did Kruha just say, yeah, that's fair enough? That is not the fighting words you throw back. You go, no.
Kruha's getting too old. He's dipping out.
Final hand, gentlemen. Come on. I just act all, oh, they're going to get me. And then I get on dancing, and they're like, bye-bye.
Kruha's obviously still pretty confident. Just for my own benefit, I need to ask the question, where did Nazar Amulet come from? What is it's a Twitch emote.
Kruha.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so for some reason, like, when someone would, like, at me in the Discord, I just thought of, like, I wanted to get, like, an eye emote. Like, I'm just staring at you, like, into your soul, like I do on the field. And I just typed up eye. And I just saw this freaky looking thing, dude. I was like, what is that? So I'm like, you put 2 of them, and you just scare everyone with it. So, yeah, I was like, let's do it. Looks perfect.
It's been out in the chat enough.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing it in the chat all night long, so there we
Perfect.
go. Yeah, it is disturbing.
Oh,
and then when you
got
add the lips,
yeah, the lips. No, that's me out.
Yeah, that's
So
not
awful.
okay. I have to ask too. During the formation of this team when it was coming together, was there pressure for you, Kruha, to change your name to Shruha to keep the triple Z motive, or was Aralia just sick of having to put the Z in front of her name and decided, you know what, we're going to be somewhat normal this time?
I think, yeah, well, I mean, you can't really call us normal with this freaky ass name. So, but other than that,
or the fact that you don't have a defender.
You can't put a Z in front of a K. That'd be like, good luck. Casting that. Oh, it comes to Kruha.
You've heard me, Cass. You know I don't get the names right anyways, Kruha. Okay, so
Very
like,
rarely
Oh,
matters.
no,
Believe me, we know.
You created a meme, dude. You're a legend. Oh, a legend.
So I think Zruka Sakura would have been great.
There is. Didn't
There are.
see the Riz today.
Yeah, we didn't see the Riz.
The Riz is on the Divinity pivot. We've lost another one.
Uh,
It's a shame, really.
All right, serious question then. How do we get these guys back into Omega Strikers?
Season 2
more
revives
people.
it. Trust.
Trust. Yeah, it's a like I said, it's a growing community, right? Copium.
Copium.
No, Copium.
We hope
It's
so.
growing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it will. I believe in it. I don't want to be too
Believe.
negative on the community. Look, it's late tonight.
Absolutely.
It's a work night. Any sort of shout outs or thank yous you guys want to give?
I mean, I've got to give a shout out to our boy Zen, of course. Not playing this tournament, but just
Yeah, watching
still
from
the
his
goat.
scuffed setup in NZ. We love that guy.
Absolutely.
Best cheerleader.
Wait, is he only in New Zealand?
I don't know.
Yeah, he said he didn't have a setup though.
Okay, because
But
I
he
was
can
about to
play.
like we was like, oh, I'm not in the country. I assumed like, oh, he's like in a whole nother region. New Zealand should be no
Zimbabwe,
excuse to not
yeah.
play. Like what?
Sick of us. I don't know.
I'll say the classic though. Great casting, great production, great teams, great fighting, great fun. Well done.
Thank you. I'll second that for our production as well. Great team behind us today as well, as usual.
Yeah, it was a fun one. Look, we're going to sign off, I think, on this note. A big thank you, as mentioned, to all the teams participating, everyone who is watching along, making this community so great. And yeah, the Copium, it's coming, all right? We're Copium merchants here. We're going to grow this scene. We're going to make it wonderful. A shout out, obviously, as well to those behind the scenes. And that's really where the hard work is being done to put on these events. Of course, I'm talking about Snoo, aka French. Fwenchid. Snoo, obviously there, and of course Iris, who was running the cameras all night long because I wore my Jet Williams shirt, weren't expecting a Jet, but I get Irish instead, and you know what? I'm gonna have to find like Iris's favorite F1 team in the future.
Yeah.
Gax, any final words?
No, I mean, great to be back for my third event. Sure, I'll be sticking around for more. It's been absolutely awesome to be welcomed in by you guys as a community as well, and hopefully you get to see me in game a bit more recently.
Yes, keep playing. You know, if the scene's growing, Gex, that means you have to
Yeah.
play more. That's how it works.
Oh, damn! I just cursed myself. No, I'm kidding. Of course, I'm going to.
Get him in, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
get in there. You'll see us in the silver lobbies. That's going to do us for tonight. Have a great night, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you the next time Money Night Mondays returns.